state of unity consciousness. And yet he was such pure love, and he was generous and gracious and positive and happy and playful and all these things that I totally relate to, because that's how I live my life. And yet I also can relate to how he had people withholding love from him. They want to beat him. They want to destroy him because of their own belief systems, their own fear. They can't comprehend the love he exudes, the love he embodies, and that he portrays to them. They can't comprehend it because they cannot see beyond their own programming. And that is it's such an important thing, that as we're in this space of evolution, that we remember to love ourselves deeply, even when others around us that we have done nothing but love and show kindness to, withhold that love from us, withhold that honor, withhold truth, withhold communication, withhold generosity, withhold helpfulness. That is all coming from their poverty consciousness belief system that they embody in themselves, and so they cannot give to you what they cannot give to themselves. So a very empowered thing for us each that are in this state of ascended mastery is to remember to be humble and loving, keep having compassion for all, but also realize that they are only giving what they can. They cannot give to you what they cannot give to themselves. And so it's a big test for us to stay in our alignment, to stay in our sacred space of love and unconditional love, and to know that our love and our guides are going to protect us and take care of us and provide for us, even when humans around us try to show us the opposite and try to withhold love, withhold honor. That is just where they are in their own understanding of consciousness. So let's see, where did I leave off? Love on, blah, blah, blah. Okay, grant me the knowledge to balance my way of being so I may heal my body, heal my family, my tribe, my nation, and our Mother Earth. That's a huge one. Grant me the knowledge to balance my way of being, self-realization, self-empowerment. This is self-responsibility. And in order for us to graduate from being a victim, which is calling nothing from us, we just lay around and hope the world works things out and we take from people, to come into this place of self-realization where we do not manipulate others, we do not miscommunicate, we speak truth, we show honor, we love ourselves, we love others, and we are responsible for our own creations. If we've created something, we are responsible for that. If we give a commitment to something, we're responsible for that. We show up for ourselves, and we have accountability and integrity. It's actually such a huge blessing for self. So it's not that we're doing that for others because, they need it from us, even though that will serve the whole. But this is for self. When I have self-realization, when I am self-responsible and self-loving, and I have integrity and accountability, I feel good. When I things outward and I say things that I don't really mean to fulfill, I say things but I don't honor them, I have no integrity, no accountability, I suffer because I don't even trust myself. And if I do that long enough, I will not believe in myself. And this is where you get yourselves in trouble. As humans, it's like shooting yourself in the foot, because the more you go against your own alignment, the more you go against your own accountability and integrity, the more you turn on yourself. And that is not a great place to be. It's a place where some of us will choose to be, however, because we're going to need that lesson. We're going to need that suffering. We're going to need that pain to wake us up. And pain will come and it will get your attention. At some point, it will wake you up when you've had enough. So I love that. So I may heal my body. If I can't heal my body and I can't love my body and I can't be accountable for my creation, I cannot love my family. It's impossible. And I cannot love my tribe, community. I cannot love my planet. So when we look at how we want to have a better planet, a more aligned planet, a more healthy planet, we have to love ourselves. We have to come to this place of self-love. And when I was showing the last two shows, the spiritual alchemy, and then I think the last one was the importance of self-love, this is very important stuff for all of us. Each of us, all the things I shared about inner child work, it is so vital, so important. Because if you haven't done that inner child work, you are running from the program. It's just reactively creating from a program. And your inner child, the inner child or unconscious aspects of yourself, unaddressed, will continue to create, and you're on that karmic wheel spinning, just creating the same situations again and again. So if we can have the consciousness to jump off the wheel, we can become self-realized, and this is where we take our power back. We start to clear these programs. We start to be more aware of the movie, and we navigate and we create in our power from our higher self instead of from a wounded child that's unconsciously creating. We start to create very consciously, which changes everything. So we have to start by loving ourselves, loving our own body and caring for it, really caring for our mind, what we put into it, caring for our family and really how we treat our family. If we don't love ourselves, we're probably not very tuned into how we're treating other people. We're all about ourselves because our wounded child's running the show. So we're probably thinking what all of them should be doing for me because we aren't doing anything for me. So if I want my life to be better, I need to do for me. I need to love me. And then from there, I can share love outwardly. I'm not expecting in a needy, clingy way others to be doing everything for me. So hopefully that makes sense. And the last part says, as I call forth all the ancestors to honor this reading of my free will and to enter it into the earth Akashic record for all sentient kind to understand that our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times. And so it is. And I love that because our freedom comes at all times through our freedom comes through the use of our free will at all times. It's so truthful. Every moment we are given an opportunity to actually use our free will or not. Every moment we are given an opportunity to own our creations and to be in our power or not. And so if we want to go into the victim mode, we are going to play that game out, that program out, because it asks nothing of us. And to come into our empowerment asks everything of us. It asks that every part of us show up. And I've played both in my life, and playing the victim sucked. It did not feel good. It did not feel fun. I never felt good enough. I never felt powerful or strong. And being empowered has asked everything of me, and it has been work and a challenge at times, but I feel alive. I feel powerful. I feel confident. I feel capable. That makes me feel happy. It makes me feel fulfilled. So the contrast of playing out the victim programming or stepping into your power is vast.
That's
and
right.
It's really a choice, because many of us, if we still feel like we can manipulate others by being a victim, we're going to do it. And until we've suffered enough, we'll probably keep playing that program, or until we've got enough consciousness that we're even doing that. And so that's what I'm here to do. And I will not dim my lights. I'm going to keep those lights shining brightly. And those of you that are ready for this truth, you're going to feel it and be excited for it. And those that aren't, you're going to probably be filtering. Maybe you've already tuned me out. Maybe that's part of the reason that the show got kind of weird. Is some of you don't want to hear this, and that's okay. I'm going to keep shining it no matter what. So I'm going to pause and see if there's anybody got a question or a comment, Ammon, and then I'll read something else.
Pegasus asked a little while ago, are J seals essentially part of ego?
Yeah, well, and if you look at ego is the unconscious. When I think of misaligned ego, because we all have an ego identity, but in essence, we are one with source, right? So if we think of consciousness as I am one with source, there is no ego there. That is just consciousness. It's just love, light, consciousness. As soon as we put a label like Tanya, that is an ego identity. Now, if we live here and we play out this game of having a sense of an ego and an identity, but if we allow that to limit us or to control us or to cause us suffering in some way, then we go into a program. So in essence, a J seal or that implant would be an ego. It would be an ego program. And so that programming is keeping you stuck in a loop. Maybe the loop is, I'm a victim, I am powerless, I'm hopeless, I'm helpless. That's the loop. And that's the ego pretty much fucking with you. And it's just going to keep you looping over and over again with that sense of powerlessness. And you can stay there as long as you want. But I'm here just to shine the light that there is another way. And that other way is you clearing those programs very consciously and you wanting your power back. You want your life force. You don't want to let it be harvested so others can use you as a tool and a pawn in a game. When we're not conscious, we can let these beings act out through us, and we can cause destruction in our own environments, in our own families, in our own relationships. And then suddenly we're sitting back like, what happened? I don't even remember doing that. I don't even know why I did that. That's worth investigating, because if we have a planet full of humans that are acting like that, it's like having a bunch of zombies running around that are just triggered. Someone's got a remote control and they're like, send them into activation. And they start fighting and creating drama and pain. That's scary to me. And so the warrior in me is here to bring light to that, so that any of you that are done participating in this will take your power back, and you'll go into meditation. You'll thank your guides for clearing these programs, clearing these implants. If you don't know how to do it on your own, call me. I will help you, because that is what I'm here doing. And we aren't going to play victim anymore. Let's all take our power back and realize that as we do, we can collectively shift into this beautiful golden era where we all really are thriving, because we're not letting our energy fields be harvested from anymore. A great movie to watch is Cloud Atlas, and it's an amazing film that shows, and the same people that made The Matrix made Cloud Atlas, and they are freaking channeling truth. I am telling you, they are tuned in. And in Cloud Atlas, they also show this woman, and she's the one, like I am on my internet show, she's speaking truth all the time about what's going on. People don't want to know what's going on, and so through the lifetimes as she was speaking the truth, later they look at her like she's this goddess that had all this insight, but at the time that she was speaking, no one was really listening, because everyone was operating according to the programming, and there's a lot of consequence to that. And so I encourage you to watch that movie as well, The Matrix, Cloud Atlas, and watch her. She's the Asian woman, I can't remember her name, but she basically starts to understand the truth of how they are harvesting the people that she is, like they're using them and they're feeding themselves to each other, and it's really gross. And like The Matrix, when you see what's really going on and why the people are, being harvested for their energy, and like these machines are taking over, it's all sci-fi sounding, but there's some real truth to it. There's some truth to what's going on galactically on our planet and how we're being affected. And there are many of us who, they're not going to want to listen to someone like me, and they can say, oh, she's a nut, and just discount everything I'm saying as they go right back into the programming because they like it. Ignorance is bliss, right? I don't agree. I think ignorance is not bliss. I've played in the place of ignorance, and I've participated in the programmings, and it has not felt good, and it didn't feel right. And each of you listening to me, if you just tune into that, something just sometimes just doesn't feel right. Like when I'm going to the doctor and there's all this pharmaceutical stuff and they're always trying to get me on new medicine, something doesn't feel right about that. Yes, start questioning that. Start taking your power back. Stop going to others outside of you, needing your answers, needing your solutions, needing them to give you a fix. Start tuning in and getting that inner awareness and that inner shift, and you will break free. I promise. But it's going to take awareness. It's going to take you and every bit of you coming to the forefront. It's no more playing, victim where it requires nothing. Like I said, that's easy fix. Oh, I don't have to do anything. I can just sit around. I can complain. I can be negative and grumpy and be the Eeyore, the Eeyore energy with everything. Or I could actually take my power back. I could step into it. I could open my eyes and I could start claiming my own divinity back. And I could start to change my movie, love myself. And next thing I know, I'm being loving to everyone around me. I can't help it because I'm so happy and I'm so full of life. That is our natural state. So any of you watching, if you've been depressed and grumpy and feeling less than, and you are under control of the program, and just start to question that, start to tune in. That is what this show's about, is just to get you to at least have some seeds dropped so that you start questioning. That's really my job. Was he satisfied with that answer, by the way?
He didn't say anything yet.
Okay, so let me know, Pegasus, what you think about that.
In the meantime, Bernard said, ignorance is bliss. Yeah, no, not fun.
No, it's not. And we've got this statement that ignorance is bliss, but it's really just ignorance. and ignorance leads to insanity. Like if we look back at, how, like I was watching the movie Risen with my beloved, and it's about Christ, and it's about the Jews and the Romans and like what all was going down at that time in history. And I was like, it's interesting because the Jews